There is one thing in this world that you cannot get back. Not money, not opportunities, not relationships. It's time. And I don't mean that in a motivational speaker way, poster way. I mean it in a way that hit me standing next to a 50-year-old man who looked me in the eyes and said, "I wish I had worked out when I was your age." And the thing that got me wasn't what he said, it was the way he said it. Like it was already over. Like he had already accepted the fact that the ship had sailed and there was nothing to do besides watch it disappear over the horizon. And I'm standing here at 22 thinking, this man still has time. He could still change. He could start today, but he won't. And I knew he wouldn't. Not because he's lazy or he's a bad person or anything like that, but because something in him had already decided that this is just how it is now. The old man had gotten in, and once that happens, it's almost impossible to get back out. I worked with people like this for a long time, all different ages from, 30s, 40s, 50s, and almost every single one of them had some version of the same conversation with me at some point. I wish I had done something differently. I wish I had started sooner. I wish I could go back. And what's crazy is some of them could still change. Some of them weren't even that old, but they had mentally checked out. They had drawn a line somewhere in their head that this is who I am and this is how my life is going to be. And no amount of convincing was going to move that line. And, I tried. I genuinely tried with some of these people, and I had to learn something hard. If someone isn't emotionally attached to changing their life, then they just won't. And it's not even about willpower or discipline. It's about whether something inside of them is still alive enough to care. For a lot of people, that thing dies quietly somewhere, probably in their 30s, and they don't even notice that it's happening. And standing there watching that, watching people resign themselves to a life that they didn't actually choose, I felt something I wasn't expecting. I didn't feel sorry for them. I felt scared for myself because I realized that what time actually does to people, it doesn't just pass. It sedates. It makes the uncomfortable things feel less urgent. It makes the gap between who you are and who you could be feel normal. And eventually you stop feeling the gap at all. That's the real danger of time. Not that you run out of it, but you get so used to wasting it that you just stop noticing altogether. And here's what nobody tells you when you're young: the decisions you make right now are not just about right now, they are compounding. Every day you choose comfort over growth, every day you choose distraction over building, every day you let it slide. That's just one day. That's not just one day, that's a pattern. And patterns become identity. And identity becomes a thing that the 50-year-old man was carrying when he told me he wished he would have started working out when he was younger. He wasn't just talking about working out, he was talking about all of it: the discipline he never built, the life he never started, the version of himself that he never became because somewhere along the line he decided it wasn't worth the discomfort. And I'm not saying this from a place of having it figured out, because I don't. I'm scared of wasting my time every single day. And that fear, it sits in the back of my head constantly. But I've stopped seeing that fear as a problem. It's actually the most useful thing that I have, because the moment I stop being scared of wasting time is the moment I start accepting things the way that man accepted them. I refuse to be standing in front of a 22-year-old in 30 years from now, telling him I wish I had started sooner. Not because I'm special or because I have some secret, just because I've seen the alternative. I've seen what the alternative looks like up close, and it looks like resignation. And I'd rather fail trying than succeed at accepting a life I never wanted. Time is the only thing you cannot make more of. You can make more money, you can rebuild relationships, you can find new opportunities, but the time you spend today is gone, whether you used it or you wasted it. It's gone either way. The only question is what you did with it. And that question gets heavier and heavier every single year. I've watched it get heavier on people. I've seen what it looks like when someone finally faces it too late. And I don't want that for you, and I don't want it for myself. So whatever it is you keep saying you'll start it. Not tomorrow, not when things are more stable or more clear or more ready, now. Because the version of you that waits is the same version of you that ends up with a story that starts with I wish I had.